This is Greg Stewart with Freemason, Information.com, Symbols and Symbolism. In this episode, we examine the symbolism behind the volume of the sacred law. Few elements are as contentious as this one, perhaps because of the diversity of faith over which the one true religion pervades. Taken from the Builder magazine from 1920, it says, "As the trestle board is for the master to lay lines and draw designs on, to enable the brethren to carry on the intended structure with regularity and propriety, so the volume of the sacred law may justly be deemed the spiritual trestle board of the great architect of the universe, in which are laid down such divine laws and mortal precepts, that we were conversant therewith and adherent thereto, they would bring us to an ethereal mansion not built with hands, but one eternal in the heavens." The volume of the sacred law is considered one of the landmarks of Freemasonry, and Mackey, in his Encyclopedia of Freemasonry, defines it as an indispensable part of the furniture of every lodge. Advisedly, he says, because a book of the law is not absolutely required that everywhere be the Old and New Testament. Mackey goes on to say that the book of the law is that volume by which the religion of the country is believed to contain the revealed will of the grand architect of the universe. Hence, in all lodges in Christian countries, the book of the law is composed of the Old and New Testaments. In a country where Judaism was the prevailing faith, the Old Testament alone would be sufficient. And in Islamic countries, the Quran might be substituted. Masonry does not attempt to interfere with the particular religious faith of its disciples, except so far as it relates to the belief in the existence of God and what necessarily results from that belief. The book of the law is, to the speculative Mason, his spiritual trestle board. Without this, he cannot labor. Whatever he believes to be the revealed will of the grand architect constitutes for him his spiritual trestle board and must ever be before him in his hours of speculative labor, to be the rule and guide of his conduct. The landmark, therefore, requires that a book of the law, a religious code of some kind purporting to be an exemplar of the revealed will of God, shall form an essential part of the furniture of every lodge. In its most distilled essence, one could interpret the idea of the book of law as an amalgam of all sacred texts, insofar as all faiths are represented, or, as in some iterations of Freemasonry, as a blank book that is emblematic of all faiths, including non-traditional acknowledgments of agnostic, hermetic, pagan, or even perhaps atheism.